Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Chido Nwokocha about Sistas on BET. Season 3 just dropped. Chido, welcome to Popternative, man.
Oh, my God. Thank you for having me.
It's always exciting when a new season of a show you worked on kind of drops, but does it still get nerve-wracking because it's like, it's finally out there, right? Like you work on it and then boom, people can see it, right? What's that like for you?
It's crazy because, like you said, we're on our third season, so it's very exciting. Obviously, we're getting the fan involvement. People love it. But then it's like you said, you go to work, you're getting ready, you do everything you're supposed to do, and then you're like, okay, I wonder how everything's going to turn out. I wonder how they're going to piece everything together. I wonder how they're going to receive it. Is it still going to be as well received as it was the first two seasons? So, it is a little nerve-wracking. There's a lot of excitement, but, so far so good. We're rolling.
What's the mindset? Because naturally, if there's multiple seasons of a show, there's always going to be like growth and development for a character. What's that mindset like season by season? I guess it depends on each show, right? But what's your mindset?
Each show and each storyline, you just kind of come in and saying, where's the growth?
Yeah.
What are we looking at this season? Each season, especially for my character, there's, it was an introduction to him. We kind of learned a little bit about his background and all the craziness that went on. And now it's like, okay, what are the next steps we're taking with this guy? What is he gonna evolve into? So that's a lot of fun to just each season by season see where the character goes.
And what can you tell us about the show if people haven't kind of had a chance to watch it yet? Like, what can you kind of tell them elevator pitch like wise?
Oh man, it's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful show about four African American ladies who are navigating their careers, relationships, and their friendships together. And I play one of the boyfriends or love interest on the show. And it's a lot of fun because I think it's very relatable for people who are, in their, late 20s, early 30s or 30s and above that are just, navigating their relationships and their friendships and watching that, either evolve or sometimes having to take the steps to move on from something. So I think it's something we all relate to because we're all, navigating our friendships and lives together.
And this is a Tyler Perry project, correct?
Yeah.
What's it like working on has it hit you that you get to work on a Tyler Perry project? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we kind of got it hit us in the face right away because when we booked the show, we were got to go to his studio grand opening, and it was just incredible because you had everybody, who's who of Hollywood was all in there, and not just Hollywood, just other public figures as well. So, we're like I said, we were like a month in on our show, and we're meeting all these people. So we're like, okay, we've arrived. And then just working with him, he just speaks for himself, just the efforts that he's put in his community and just with African Americans in general and just the world, just giving back and providing opportunities for a lot of us. It's our first time, being series regulars on the show, just getting those opportunities to showcase our talent and abilities.
100%. When people watch Sistas on BET, what do you hope they get out of it takeaway wise? It is a show. There is a lot going on. It's sitcom, but there is a lot going on in the show. There is. It's packed.
Yeah. Well, I hope I hope they enjoy it. They get a lot of love, but just a lot of relatability. I know sometimes I just, you want them to look at the show and just be like, oh my God, I relate to this particular character, or I know someone that, moves and acts the same way. And, just kind of gives you, just a better understanding, just to see yourself too. For myself, as African man, just seeing, we have about 5 different guys on different African American dudes on the show, and you're getting a chance to just see that, and it's like, oh, okay, because on other shows you maybe got 1 or 2, if that, but to see that a show full of just beautiful Black people, and different, everyone's different, it's awesome.
To add to that a little bit more, I always am intrigued about learning experiences on projects, and you've been working for quite some time, but it sounds like this was a great experience working on this project. Can you dive into a little bit of the learning experiences? Because there's always going to be learning experiences when you work on a set, no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, working with Tyler Perry, he moves fast. So, I mean,
I've
we
heard that
shoot,
before for sure.
yeah, we shoot a bunch of episodes in a day. So, I mean, everything that we've learned from other stuff, it's been great. But this particular project has just been, we move fast. You got to make your choices. And it's just rolling along. So just working with him at his pace and kind of what he wants to do. And I think now, obviously, we're 3 seasons in. We're familiar with what he's doing and how he wants to move and what he's looking for out of these characters.
Oh, absolutely. Is there something? I mean, maybe it's hard to pinpoint one thing, but is there a few things? Because you're acting, but you're a storyteller. Like that's what you do. You're a storyteller. Is there something you love the most over other things about being able to be a storyteller, Chido? Like, is there anything that stands out?
Oh my gosh, that's an interesting question. I mean, you're actually getting able to. You're like you're telling a story, but it's just
You're playing pretend.
You're bringing, you're for a living, but you're bringing something to life. And I think when we all have our different ideas as how we can be, or how that we would create a certain character, or even just going through life a certain persona, how you carry yourself. And in a sense, you're able to just create something like that on TV. You get a character, and you're like, okay, well, this is how this guy would move. This is how he would talk. These are his little nuances and his thing and his way of thinking. So it's a lot of fun to bring something like that to life.
It's interesting as well too, because you've had a chance to work on a bunch of cool projects, but a lot of them have been different that you've gone to work on. I mean, work is work, right? But it's pretty cool to look back and see the variety of different projects you've gone to work on so far.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I just feel like it's just going to really help me as my career continues to grow. I like to say, I've gotten an opportunity to be an actor in Hollywood right now. You know what I mean? I got an opportunity to be successful and to create a career. And I think just the projects that I've worked on before have all been just so different that when I start working on these other problems, I'm like, oh, this is kind of similar to this other one. Oh, this is kind of similar to this. So I have so many different things to pull from that it's going to allow me to, fortunately create that longevity.
Now, the sitcom has obviously been around forever, and people love the sitcom. But what are you noticing, whether on shows you've worked on, or like, what are you noticing about the evolution or growth of a sitcom? Because I feel like, they're really funny, but I feel like sitcoms these days like hit hard sometimes of like emotional stuff and like a lot of messages. Like, have you noticed that a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like we're more like a dramedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We hit more like, we have a lot because, the comedy is always there. It's always going to have fun elements. But when you're dealing with a show with just relationships and people, there are, there's so many human elements. So there's a lot of fun and funny stuff, but then there's a lot of, serious things you have to talk about, whether it, like I said, interactions you have to have with a friend, hard topics you talk about, breaking up with a boyfriend, or, talking about taking the next step in life. So there's so many different elements that you got to tap into that I think a lot of shows, whether it be a sitcom or just a regular TV show, drama TV show, they try to tap into all of them because it's very engaging for the viewer as well.
Are you noticing that content? I mean, it's been like this for a while, but they're saying it's like the golden age of television because of the streaming platforms and everything, and there's so much content. Content really, truly is global, Chido. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you can watch shows like from all around the world. Like, there's no borders anymore, man.
No, especially, I mean, with, like I said, the streaming platforms and everything, you literally, you go on your Instagram and you got messages from people like, well, I'm watching you in the UK, I'm watching you from South Africa, I'm watching you down here. You're just like, we're reaching that many people. Like you have like a global fan base, and just with all these shows out there, there's so much content. There's so much things for people to tune in and watch to their liking. So Is
the show available internationally right now? Like, it's on BET in the States, but
it's on BET. Then it goes on Hulu. It's also on Amazon Prime. Yeah. So like I said, we're in like I said, we're in UK. We're in Africa. We're just in so many different places.
But it's cool to get that message, being like, I'm watching your show.
Yeah, you're watching it from where?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so dope. It's so dope to be a part of that.
The pandemic obviously was very difficult for a lot of people, and I remember it's funny because, well, things are starting to open up. I'm in Canada. We're still pretty locked down over here.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but last year it was like I feel like everyone was on kind of the equal playing ground. Like everyone was shut down, and there's a lot of Instagram lives, and there were people tuning in on these Instagram lives from like literally all over the place. Like I'd be going and doing an Instagram live, and everyone in the comments would say like who they are, where they're from, and just across all these different time zones. Like it was insane.
Yeah, no, because everyone was doing pretty much the same thing. When you at one point, everyone was literally at home, so that was the best time to get have your content out, or just if you wanted to go live and people were just sitting at home. I remember just jumping on different lives, and different people would go over just to see what was going on because I had nothing to do.
All these new, I mean, like there's TikTok, and then there's like you heard of Clubhouse.
Yeah. Clubhouse was going crazy. Yeah. It was people were on it for, I'm sure some people are still on it, but it was like a wave at one point. Everybody was like on Clubhouse. From what
people, they're still using it. Oh
yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
It's like a virtual like convention. People say it's like you have like speakers and like people in the audience and like audience.
It's very creative. It's actually very creative. I mean, if you have a topic you want to talk about and you just get in and you get everybody in there to just like you said, it's a conference. It's like just a live conference on there.
Absolutely.
And obviously you go on there and you can literally talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Absolutely.
From anything intellectual to anything just whatever. So
season 3 just it dropped in the beginning of June on BET. So I think we're like 4 episodes.
3 episodes in. Yeah, we got another episode.
Yeah,
episode tonight.
And every day, every week, basically, an episode drops. So they unfortunately can't like just like binge it, or they could wait. Like that's it. Did you find that's kind of interesting too? Like there's 2 different ways now, like depending on each show.
Yeah, because I watch some shows and it's week to week, and I'm like, God, I hate this thing, man. But it keeps you, wanting, you know what I mean? But then there's some that drop all at the same time, and it's like I love it, but then I hate it because once I finish, I'm like, well, where's the next season? You know what I mean? So it's like it's 2 different dilemmas, but we're week to week, and it just creates that, wanting for more. Anticipation. Yeah,
100%. Chido, I wanted to thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Oh man, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. And for those listeners out there, tune in every Wednesday night to watch Sistas on BET. It's a beautiful show. Beautiful. We got 5 beautiful leading ladies who are taking the industry by storm right now. So it's a lot of fun to follow them.
Absolutely. Oh, the cast is amazing. Like powerhouse.
Yeah.
And
we're a good group.
Yeah. Where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
My handles, I'm on Twitter and Instagram right now. And the handles are both the same. They're I'm Chido. So it's YEA_ letter I, letter M, CHIDO. So I'm Chido.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Chido Nwokocha and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.